welcome to Rabbit Hole Roundtable Talks. I'm MK, and this is.
Ted.
And on this channel, we hope to bring you some positive news, some insightful stories, and every once in a while, some stories from Reddit. Today, we got some positive news coming out of Africa and some positive news coming out of, where is this? Somewhere. All right, so we're going to get started. Okay, so the first story I found was about a retired colonel who heals thousands of addicts with empathy, yoga, and service. And I thought this story was interesting because the ex-colonel, he's a Sikh, and one of my close friends is Sikh. So, and when I say Sikh, I mean S-I-K-H. I don't mean S-I-C-K. So it's a religion, for those of you who don't know, that promotes peace, which I think most religions do, at least in theory.
Yeah.
So let me read the article. No, I couldn't find where the article was from, but maybe I'll see it when I read through. From the heartland of Sikhism comes an inspiring story of a former army colonel helping to free his countrymen from addiction through positive reinforcement. Colonel Dr. Rajinder Singh is the founder and director of the Akal Drug De-Addiction Center in Punjab. There we go. We found out where it's from. His methods have helped over 10,000 patients kick addiction stemming from a variety of underlying causes. Dr. Singh is 91, but you wouldn't know it. He works all the time to improve the center and plans to open a third location, are moving right along. His method is contingent on transforming born from compassion. His method is contingent on transformation, born from compassion and steady reinforcement. According to the Better India, Dr. Singh was among the earliest doctored psychiatrists in independent India, but it was his time in the army fighting in the 1962 Indo-China War that helped him understand the psyche behind addictions. Army personnel are exposed to highly stressful situations. Long periods away from home can affect their mental health. Some even experience post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, after combat and war, Singh said. At the Akpal Center in Punjab, Sangrur district, Singh has seen all kinds of addiction from intravenous drug use to addiction to the fumes of whitener. He even admitted a man who was addicted to the adrenaline shock from snake bites.
Oh.
In every case, his method is the same: physical exercise, organized sports, yoga, medical treatment if needed, and introducing the concept of service inherent in his Sikh faith without any room for haranguing or preachiness. Dr. Singh believes that the root cause of addiction lies in certain experiences that the person has battled, and that an eventual moral reckoning, either with themselves or with those who have harmed them, is the end goal of the rehabilitation. Remembering one patient admitted for injecting a mixture of substances that caused 2 separate marriages to fail, a mixture of medication, individual and group counseling. A mixture of medication, individual and group counseling, and spiritual healing helped him through the withdrawal. His withdrawal symptoms subsided. He gained 6 kilograms. His sleep and appetite improved, and his mood 6 kilograms is about 12 pounds. His sleep and appetite improved, and his mood became cheerful. He was discharged with advice for regular follow-ups, Singh noted. Today, the former patient works in a factory, is happily married, and has referred over 60 addicts from his area to this center.
That's it?
Yeah, that's the story.
Oh.
That was pretty good. I think so. I actually worked for the army as well.
Wait, you missed
As a
you missed
civilian
2
employee.
parts.
I did?
It sounds interesting.
What did I miss?
The Sikhs believe that to be born as human is a result of first being born as every single other animal on earth once, and therefore that life is to be cherished and the fruits derived from it to be shared.
Wow. That's not on the page.
It's right there.
Really?
It's under the more stories, I
Oh,
think.
it literally is right there. Oh, that's like the prologue. The Sikhs believe that to be born as a human is a result of first being born as every single other animal on earth once, and therefore that life is to be cherished and fruits derived from it is to be shared. You literally just said that. It's a fine starting point for any
Oh,
attitude towards healing addiction in society. That the lives of addicts not only matter, but are beautiful and endowed with purpose.
sir.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I was saying, right? I
Sorry.
work in the army. And I think that soldiers, no matter what country you're in, they face issues that normal civilians don't even like understand.
Yeah.
I mean, some civilians, like if you grew up in like a third world country,
Yeah.
or if you are experiencing violence on a daily basis in your neighborhood, you probably have an inkling,
Mm-hmm.
but unless you're actually engaged in the violence, like you're actually like shooting at people and having people shoot back at you, you probably not fully experiencing it. But yeah. And then not only that, but then there's also like the training that they have to go through and all that stuff. So it's a lot. So I think what he's doing is great.
Yeah. I think addiction has so much layers to it because you could be like, it's like evident that you're addicted to something, or you can be addicted medically, which is has a different showing in the front line. And that's why I learned
Yeah.
going to like AA meetings and stuff like that is that you may think that you're a social drinker because that's what is contemporarily called in circles, but there's actually like a medical definition of a social drinker. It's
Oh,
based on how much you drink per week.
per week.
Yeah. So
Oh,
when we
okay.
say social, well, not we, but when people say social, they feel like it means like in a group setting, I'll have a drink or two. But social
Mhm.
drinker means like 1 or 2 drinks per week.
Oh,
Yeah, it has to do with the
and I
amount.
definitely wasn't a social drinker. I was a social binger.
Yeah, it has like non-alcoholics, well, a non-drinker, a social drinker, then you have dependent, and then you have alcoholic. Well, like the last level.
I missed a little bit of that because I was turning on my headphones.
Oh,
Yeah. But, I think it's good that we don't drink anymore because drinking actually damages a lot of organs that you wouldn't think about.
yeah.
Like, drinking could even damage your lungs, which is kind of weird because you don't actually smoke it. But yeah, smoking and drinking is just something that I wish I understood the health risks sooner. Like, I understood it, but like, I thought it was like not that serious compared to smoking.
Yeah.
But then I like looked it up. I'm like, oh, never mind. It's actually pretty bad.
Okay, so I found the actual. This is a different levels, but stage one is
Mhm.
abstinence. Stage two is initial use, like you just starting off. Stage three is high risk use, like you gain your tolerance up, you're doing it more often. Stage four is problematic use. That's when you like is apparent. You get health
Yeah.
issues like impaired liver functions or STDs start coming up because you drinking and then having sex and stuff like that. Stage
Yikes.
five is the early dependency. That's when you go on past that, like you have to get that drink. Stage
Yeah.
six is middle stage dependency, and then seven is crisis stage of dependency, where it's like you have to have it at all times.
Ali.
And it takes a year of not drinking to go down one stage.
Golly, just one stage?
Yeah.
So what stage you think we were?
Um, I would say three, like
Wait.
dependent ish, based on the amount,
Uh, yeah, I could see that.
but but not in the well, not in the like the regular use of the word dependent. just like medically dependent based on the amount.
Yeah. I mean, I could kind of see that because I used to always drink whenever I would go partying, and I would kind of use it as like liquid courage in a way. I
Yeah,
wouldn't say like 100% liquid courage because obviously I'm relatively confident, but I think in terms of like getting rid of any inhibitions, it's like a fully enjoy the moment.
yeah,
I think that's what I use it for.
yeah. I agree.
Well, guys, I would say at this point to leave a comment, but instead, I think I would say, please don't drink. Wait till you 25 if you're going to try your first drink. I think that's when the human brains finish developing
Hmm.
ish. So I think that's a good time for people to actually, if you want to try things that you really shouldn't be doing, that would be a good time to do it and just try it for like a year or two and then stop.
I would say just don't do it at all. Honestly, from like my
I would say
experience.
that, but like people people want to
Yeah,
people
no
want to fit in.
curiosity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Don't get peer pressured, and then that's the only thing. Don't get peer pressured. If you really don't want to, just don't. You don't have to. There's literally no true benefits to doing it at all. It's all
True.
downsides, like literally.
True.
And yet still,
I mean, I wouldn't say all downsides. I enjoyed it when I drank.
that's because of the chemical reasons though. That's not because of the alcohol itself.
Ah,
It changes your brain function.
true. You think there's anything like that could be a good replacement for alcohol that's not as damaging to your body?
Therapy.
Therapy.
But
Therapy ain't gonna be there in the club with me.
you see, therapy makes you happier. And
Yeah, but
alcohol,
happiness ain't gonna get me to grab a thing and wind up on it.
it will. When you're happy, you can be more confident.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. There's no
All right,
like
all right,
thing you
all
can
right.
take to make yourself feel any better.
There's nothing you could take that's going to raise your confidence permanently.
Yeah.
It's always temporary. So if you really need to rely on drugs to be confident, you need to figure out why you're not confident, and then
Right.
that's what
Which
therapy
you
is
can
for.
learn
So
in
that makes
therapy. Exactly.
yeah.
Nice circle.
I got there. I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
All right, all right. So U.S. returns 50 million. Oh, sorry. Going on to the next story. This is from BBC News. The previous story was from
Good News
Good
Network.
News Network. All right, so this one's from BBC. The U.S. returns 50 million in alleged stolen funds to Nigeria. Close to 53 million, which is about 53 million US, which is about 43 million pounds, in alleged illicit funds recovered from Nigeria's former oil minister, Diezani Alison Madueke, among others, will be used to fund public services, the country's justice ministry says. The money is being sent back to Nigeria from the US, whose authorities allege that Alison Madueke enriched herself and others while leading Nigeria's state oil firm by awarding contracts in exchange for bribes. The US alleged that the money was then used to buy a 65-meter super yacht called the Galactica Star, plus multiple luxury properties in California and New York. Alison Madueke, 64, has always denied all allegations of wrongdoing. Her alleged ill-gotten gains are also under scrutiny in the UK, where 2 years ago she was charged with bribery offenses, including gifts of Louis Vuitton luxury goods, payment of private school fees, and at least $127,000 in cash. Whew. A key figure in the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan, she also served as the first female president of the oil exports group OPEC. Her time as Nigeria's Minister of Petroleum Resources began in 2010 and ended in 2015. She previously served as Transport Minister and the Minister for Solid Materials and Steel Development. The U.S. Department of Justice announced in 2023 the final resolution of two civil cases on the forfeiture of assets that were reportedly laundered in and through the U.S. by Alison Madueke and her associates. On Friday, the US and Nigeria confirmed that the sum of 52.88 million would be repatriated to the West African nation. This will be the first repatriation to Nigeria of assets outside the West African country linked to this lady whose name they keep repeating. The Reuters news agency reports. Speaking at the formal signing ceremony in the Nigerian capital, Abuja, Attorney General and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi said that the return of the funds marks a significant step in the ongoing efforts to combat corruption. Fagbemi said 50 million of the money will go through the World Bank to support rural electrification projects, and the remaining 2.88 million will be directed to the International Institute of Justice to strengthen the justice system and promote anti-corruption efforts. Meanwhile, the US ambassador to Nigeria, Richard Mills, has emphasized the need for accountability as well as the careful monitoring of the return funds. The Ministry of Justice must guarantee that these funds are used transparently and effectively to improve the lives of Nigerians, he said. In November of 2022, the US government repatriated to Nigeria 20.6 million in assets allegedly stolen by former Nigerian military leader Gen Sani Abacha. 5 years ago, Washington transferred 311.8 million to the Nigerian government as part of the previous agreement to repatriate assets that traced back to the Abacha regime. So, long and short of that whole article is a lot of money is being returned to Nigeria from the US and is going to be used to enrich rural areas and their justice system that's the anti-corruption portion of their justice system.
I don't understand.
What don't you understand, bro?
How do they get the money?
How they got the money?
Yeah.
They seized the assets.
So the lady did not steal the money.
No, she didn't steal it. She was bribed and other stuff. Like she was doing corruption, basically.
So she was corrupt.
She was engaged in corruption. Yeah. Yeah. I try and find positive news coming out of Africa.
Every time.
And it's like the positive news here is that they're getting the money and they're going to use the money for good things. But the bad news is I'm highlighting corruption in the African country.
I feel like every time we look at Africa, it's still giving us negatives, which we're trying to avoid.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I can't just find purely positive. It's like here's a positive thing, but it's based on something negative that happened previously.
We talked about this before we started the show, like before we started segueing into like spreading the positivity all around. Like for some reason, we just gain stuff there's some positive, but then it's based on negative.
Yeah.
It's
really tough. Like I don't like that either. It's really tough. Like I spent like hours looking for because it's hard to find anything that's not like a first world country, like positive news.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, I guess India with the Cardinal, I don't know if they're first world country. They're probably not third world though. I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, they're not. I don't know what they are, but I know they're not third world. So it's like, unless you're anything but third world, you're gonna find positive news.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't keep trying though, because I don't want to like give up.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I should start reading the articles before we actually talk about them on the podcast. But I like to.
Yeah. It's better this way.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. But Africa, every country in Africa, we love y'all. Maybe not South Africa, because I know there's a bunch of racist people there. And I don't know if they still practice apartheid down there, but hope not. And as you can tell, I live in America, so I don't know much about the rest of the world, so forgive me.
Yeah,
but
it's over since 1990.
Apartheid?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good. Cheers to you guys. I heard there's still a lot of racists, like majority white population there.
You're never going to them like that. They're just gonna be quiet. But anyways, positive. The money is going back.
Mm-hmm.
This just I don't. You know, like the common thing is that Nigerians steal money.
That's funny. Well, that's not funny, but that's funny.
Yeah, oh man.
Like they're scammers.
We didn't mean to do this. We thought it was gonna be positive. what it is, but it's not. But
It is positive.
we're trying. Okay, we're trying.
It is
This is the
positive. It just
second time this happened.
yeah. What do we do? Look, maybe we need
Your
some
help.
participation.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need people to like send us in like news or even just talk about something that they've seen if they live in like an African country or any third world country.
Yeah.
Just say like, yo, this has happened in my area. And then even if it's like really short, like it's only gonna take me like 2 minutes to read,
Yeah.
less than a minute to read, I still think that's something.
Yeah.
We got a
So
short episode.
I
Cool.
think our email's in the description. You can send us an email, leave a comment, put a link to the the story, anything like that.
Emails is not in description, but it will be from in future videos, including this one.
All right.
All right, so that's the positive news, guys. Don't forget to drop us a like if for our attempt at being positive in this episode. Give us a comment with something positive from your country, regardless of your first world, third world, second world, whatever. Just give us something positive that happened in your area, and maybe we'll talk about it in the next episode because it's all positive. Positivity is what we're trying to do.
Indeed.
We love you guys.
Peace.
Peace.